Actually going trick-or-treating tonight?
Calories per hundred.
Maybe a few. When you're trick-or-treating, you're going to be collecting a bunch of candies. And more than likely, you're going to eat more than you should. Okay? Candy has an enormous amount of energy, which is why we like it. So we've evolved a way of detecting molecules that contain a lot of energy, and we've evolved a preference for those molecules. And there are two big classes. Yep.
So vegetarians that don't like meat, or is there like something wrong with them because meat has a lot of energy and they don't like it?
Well, the two main tastes that everybody craves
Are umami and sweet, right?
Sweet and, yeah, umami, which would be like oily, greasy, fat. So you like fat stuff and sweet stuff. Everybody does. Okay? And the reason is that fats and sugars have incredibly dense store of energy for the amount of space and mass that they take up. And so animals that prefer them will seek them out and will get a lot of energy very quickly. So that's why candy tastes sweet to us. It's because it's an energy-dense molecule. And when we burn the sugar, we are actually burning sugar. It is a combustion reaction. So when you burn something, you take a carbohydrate and oxygen, you react them together, and you get heat, carbon dioxide, and water coming out. Now I can do that with a flame and a fire, or I can do it in these little special structures inside my cells that actually do the same thing. Do you know what those structures in your cells are called? Mitochondria. Okay. Now they're doing the same reaction, but instead of just having the flame warm you up in general, they use that energy to make little, well, you can basically call them batteries, molecules called ATP, which are then used to power all the things that your body does. Okay? But you are releasing the same energy that you would release if you were to just burn the object. You were reacting with oxygen and taking the energy away. Now, this has a whole bunch of sugar in it. This room has a whole bunch of oxygen in it. When I wave it around, does it burst into flame? No. And that's because even though oxygen is a very powerful oxidizing agent, right now the room isn't warm enough to get it to react. And even if I put it on a flame, it will burn, but it's going to burn relatively slowly. And oxygen is a very strong oxidizing agent, but it's not the only kind of oxidizing agent. There are others. It's called oxidizing agents because oxygen is the most common of the oxidizing agents, so that's what it was named after. Our last unit in the course is going to be studying oxidization and reduction. There are things that are better at being oxygen than oxygen is, which is kind of weird. So there are things that can burn better than oxygen. And one of those things is potassium chlorate, which is this stuff here. Now, potassium chlorate at room temperature is a solid, which makes it pretty safe to handle, because what do you know about reaction rates in solids? They're slow. They're very slow. And so I can handle this. I don't have to worry about things blowing up right now. But if I heat it up a little bit and I turn it into a liquid, then the reaction rate is going to speed up a fair bit, and potassium chlorate becomes quite dangerous once it's melted. And so what we're going to do is liquefy the potassium chlorate with some heat, and then we're going to drop the Smartie in, and we're going to burn the Smartie. And you're going to see the amount of energy that's actually stored in a Smartie. And it's huge. It's a lot of energy. And it's going to release a lot of heat. And that's actually the main reason that mammals eat. Not all animals, but mammals. The majority of our calories are not used to move around and do exercise and all that cool stuff. The majority of our calories are used to keep our bodies the right temperature, right? To keep us warm enough to stay alive. And one Smartie can do a fair bit of that. So can somebody turn the lights off, please?
So you would burn way more calories working out if you worked out in a really cold room?
Yep. The absolute best exercise that you can do is shivering. So if you're to go for a run in February in just shorts and t-shirt, you could burn like 3 times the calories making up that number.
Does it take calories to cool your body, like if you went for a run in the summer?
It does a little. Okay, it's all liquefied there. So now our reaction rate is going to be fast enough to be interesting. Turn the gas off. Drop the Smartie in. How much energy is in a Smartie? A lot. Then we might even be able to get some more in there. Nope, that's stuck.